Now we transition to our Pro 4-wheel drive category. 900 horsepower delivered to all four wheels. Take a look at round 3 here last night. Johnny Greaves versus Mark Jenkins.
But look at Mark Jenkins. He does not hesitate when he runs it up the inside. He takes the lead briefly. These guys went door-to-door action, side by side, and at one point, Mark Jenkins almost entered the truck of Johnny Greaves through the window net. These guys get back on the gas. Here's another look at this. This was about as close as you could possibly get. But at the end of the day, Johnny Greaves takes the victory.
So Greaves bringing whatever was left of that Toyota across the line, and he's down with Tony Bachhoven.
Well, Johnny Greaves comes into tonight the point leader, but last night, Johnny, it was rough out there. You got the win, but tonight you start way in the back.
Yeah, it's going to be a little tougher tonight, but you never know. It might be safer because those guys are going to be going at it in the front, and I'm going to hang out, see if I get some openings before the yellow, but wait for the yellow flag and see who's landing on who and go from there.
One more question. What's the green light all about?
That's just one of our sponsors, Rigid Industries, so we tried to bling out the Toyota a little bit.
He's got a little bling in it, guys. He's coming from the 6th starting spot tonight.
Thanks, Tony. He's hoping it's green means go all the way for him. Can Johnny Greaves deliver all of the body panels to the finish tonight? We'll find out. Pro 4-wheel drive coming up. Welcome back, everyone, to the Husqvarna Showdown in Charlotte. This is TORC, the off-road championship, and we are waiting to start our Pro 4-wheel drive category.
As you have a look here at the information about these amazing trucks, a lot of these guys pushing close to 900 horsepower, 750 maybe a little bit low, but you see the travel. These things are just absolutely potent, and these guys have to be very cautious on that right throttle as we get ready to go green.
And you see the truck on the right-hand side there, the black and white stripes. Leading them out will be Scott Douglas, the number 10, the Nitto tire truck of Ross Hook next to him. But the orange truck of Adrian Cheney. Cheney won the first round of the season, so expect something from him. Stuck in the back, though, Johnny Greaves, who is hunting for winning tonight. Green flag racing here in Charlotte.
Look at that start from Adrian Cheney. He just blasted out of there like he was shot out of a cannon. Look at him. He's already side by side with Scott Douglas. He's got the inside. Douglas playing it smartest. Veteran there. Once again, we see that turn. Too many trucks trying to fit in the same amount of real estate.
That was Mike Jenkins and Mark Jenkins coming together. The red truck is Mark Jenkins, the black Traxxas truck, Mike Jenkins. So they having all kinds of trouble, but Scott Douglas now trying to hold up the wild man, Adrian Cheney.
Adrian Cheney, his nickname is the Wild Man, and you will probably find out this season why they call him it. The crazy South African. He's going up the inside, trying that low line, putting a lot of pressure on Scott Douglas early in the race, but we know with Adrian Cheney, patience is not in his vocabulary.
No, patience is definitely not part of his vocab. Oh, look at this!
Over rotation, but he saves it. See that four-wheel drive? Exactly. He was able to use the front to counter steer, and he recovered that. You'll see with the four-wheel drive trucks, you see with the two-wheel, you get a lot of counter steer, meaning turning the opposite direction of where they're going. But with four-wheel drive trucks, you'll see them moving that wheel a lot more back and forth, trying to get that truck steer in the right direction. Look at this. Cheney once again. He's applying the pressure. Mark Jenkins now, last night's winner, is trying to fight his way in a podium position. Look at this. Cheney once again to the low line.
Oh, Cheney is just... He's trying to force his way through. Look at this. Sideways, it just doesn't matter when all four wheels of delivery in the car. They can pretty much throw that truck anywhere.
What we see with Adrian Cheney, as long as there's one wheel on the ground, he'll have the throttle on and he'll be driving that truck out of there. Gets that truck rotated, trying to stay out of the roost, switching up the lines. But earlier, we've seen his strength is in turn 1. So can he get a run out of that turn?
The orange truck of Adrian Cheney. For more on him, we're checking in with Tony Bachhoven.
Well, guys, he told me this afternoon, right before they started racing, that one of the things they've been chasing is the percentage of power they're putting to the front wheels. Now, I tried to get him to tell me how they were doing it, but he wouldn't tell me. He just grinned and said, it's a trade secret. But it looks like whatever they did was the right move.
Well, he's got some power to those front wheels now and the rear wheels. Look at this, side by side, clean racing. These guys showing a lot of respect These guys have been around for a while. Scott Douglas, I mean, he's like almost the mayor of the series.
Oh,
you know?
Scott Douglas
But look at that.
Truck, it can't hold off the charge of Adrian Cheney. So the orange truck of Cheney manages to go past. So he is now in the lead, and he is going to try and put some distance between himself and Scott Douglas, because he knows that somewhere lurking in that pack is Johnny Greaves.
He absolutely knows. Even if no one said anything, he knows Greaves is behind him. And he knows that Johnny Greaves is usually the guy he's got to try and beat. But we look a little bit further back. This is the battle for third.
Oh, like the battle last night. Mark Jenkins and Johnny Greaves. It was Mark Jenkins that ended up with his front tire almost in Johnny Greaves' lap. And Greaves was worried a little bit about how hard those guys would be pushing.
But the great thing about that was they got out of the truck, shook hands, and look at this once again. We keep switching. Battle for the lead, battle for third. Look at this, Cheney high, Douglas low. He's now got the inside. Coming on the stretch, they've now completed lap 6 of 18. Let's see.
Wow, this is great racing at the front, and because they are racing and fighting each other, it's allowing third, fourth place to try and catch up, which means that Greaves will soon be bearing down on the bumper. And there he is, of Scott Douglas. So that black and green monster truck of Johnny Greaves now chasing down the white and black Amsoil truck of Douglas, who is still all over Adrian Cheney.
These guys have just been door to door. And right behind him, you just said, Johnny Greaves now is in the third place. He now has a clear shot at these two. And while they're doing this side by side and banging each other, look at that. You saw the green and black truck of Greaves right there. He is coming.
What a fantastic move that was by Scott Douglas. Tony, you got more at Scott?
Talked this afternoon about straight line braking. When they come down the straightaway like they are now, he drives it in deep, hits the brakes, stands on the gas, and that's how he turns the truck.
Yeah, look at that. You're so right there, Tony. He got the truck rotated, almost like an Adrian Cheney type move. These guys just no fear whatsoever. Pitch their truck, coming in wide open, get it sideways, get it turned, and get out. But look at this, Johnny Greaves
is coming up. You see that green light in that Toyota. He is looking at the back bumper of Adrian Cheney, and he wants to try and figure a way around. But meanwhile, Cheney is now working again on Douglas.
Look at this, he does that again, goes to the low line. These guys keep actually stealing each other's lines, but basically trying to go where the other guy is. And look at this, Cheney's on the inside. Johnny Greaves, he's going to go wide. He wants to see how this all unfolds. Stay wide, keep your momentum, hope those two slow each other down. But look, and then Mark Jenkins now, he goes, hang on a second, I won this last night. I want to be a part of the battle.
Mark Jenkins, he is actually kind of lurking there, because if a problem happens, Jenkins could work his way through.
And now Cheney back in the lead. So these guys just keep trading positions. But I got to imagine Adrian Cheney has found something that has improved his truck. Last night, we were kind of expecting that charge at the end of the race to get on the podium. Just missed out. And I'm sure tonight he's got a chip on his shoulder. He wants to come back and prove why he was the co-points leader coming to this event.
This is the Husqvarna Showdown in Charlotte. Pro four-wheel drive racing here at TORC. Fantastic racing here tonight. Adrian Cheney leading them out. Scott Douglas, the white and black truck, in second. And Johnny Greaves, that black truck, in third.
My apologies. Johnny Greaves did hold on for that win, but Mark Jenkins had that race for a long time. But once again, we find these guys together, and you can argue that these are the top four hitters. As we come to the competition caution, the red and yellow flag, they'll rack these guys back up, and we'll go back racing.
So competition caution is out. They will all gather up again. Well, we've seen a lot of fighting back and forth here, and traction's so important on this track. And for more on that, let's go down to Tony.
Well, guys, you talk about traction. I'm trying to hold up these two tires, but here's a look at what these guys are dealing with. The tire here in front of me is a blank tire. It's not been grooved. Now, there's factory treads right out of the press, but here's the tire on my left. This one's been cut up. This is how they race. Now, depending on the surface of the condition of the racetrack, they'll cut this tire much differently. On a track like tonight, where it's a little drier because of the sun we've had today, they put more blocks in it. It cleans it out faster, gives them more grip, but more importantly, it allows the tire to cool down quicker. So there's a lot of chemistry and artistry into these tires.
That white and black truck of Scott Douglas caught between a rock and a hard place. Cheney in front of him, Greaves behind him. Wonder what his strategy is. For more on Scott Douglas, let's check in with Christy Lee.
Here with the spotter for Scott Douglas, Jason Scampers. Now, what kind of advice are you giving to him for the second half of this race, especially after Cheney just took the lead?
Right now, we're just trying to be really cautious and keep what we got, but try to move ahead and take the opportunities when they come, because it's going to get crazy out there.
Looks like it's time to go.
You could see the panic in his eyes. He was looking across the course, knowing they're about to restart after the competition caution. We've got all of our pro four-wheel drive trucks racked up, nose to tail. Cheney is in the lead right now, but how will it be in 9 laps time? Green flag racing in Charlotte.
Listen to these trucks just screaming out the front stretch, and immediately great start by Douglas. He comes to the inside, but Greaves on the high line. Look at these guys, they're fanning out. This turn's going to become interesting. Douglas with the drive. Cheney now goes up the inside, and he's going to do a little bump and run. Oh, and more contact.
Greaves hits Cheney. Jenkins hits Greaves.
Oh. Who hasn't hit somebody? Look at these guys. Once again, side by side. It's like they're getting ready for the green, like they're lined up side by side.
Oh, look at that! Greaves off the side of the track. All kinds of chaos. 4 trucks in 1 truck's worth of space. That just doesn't work, folks.
I love Johnny's strategy before the race. I'm going to hang back and stay out of some trouble until the caution. Guess what? We're on for the caution now. He's like, I don't need body work. I just need to get to the front, and that's what he's trying to do. Side by sides with Jenkins. This is deja vu of round 3 when these guys could not get away from each other. Look at that.
And look at the different angles of the truck, the different lines they're choosing. I mean, the front of the truck is pointing every which way, but because all 4 wheels drive, they can do that and actually find their way out. Douglas, though, will not let Cheney get away.
This is the best organized chaos you will ever see, because these guys are trying to go where there is some room. Look at this. We see them fanning out, turn after turn. We have a change to the lead, then another change, and a change to the podium, and now Greaves up the inside.
This is the hardest Ford podium spot I have seen in a long time. Cheney in the orange truck, Douglas in the white and black truck, Mark Jenkins in the red, and Johnny Greaves in the black. Look at this! Go through!
3 wide!
Punting Cheney again!
Oh.
Wow! Absolute chaos on the whoop section, and Adrian Cheney is out of it for now.
Well, he'll get back on. He's not out of it, but he has lost a bit of ground. But the way these guys are scrapping, if he's got some clear track, he could move back up. And look at this. Douglas is holding on to the lead now, but he's got Jenkins all over. Look, we see the
amazing thing here. Scott Douglas in the lead, Mark Jenkins in second, and now Mike Jenkins in the black Traxxas truck has moved up into third. Johnny Greaves actually got shuffled back to fourth.
Look at that. It almost looks like they're spinning out, but they're setting up, trying to get these trucks rotating, get that power to the ground.
Look at the front of Mark Jenkins' truck. That red truck, there's just bits of it left. But the bodywork doesn't matter here, folks. It's what's underneath that counts. But Mark Jenkins now is sniffing another chance at getting a victory.
And if you were wondering, yes, Mark and Mike Jenkins are brothers. These guys passionate about racing in the pro 4-wheel drive class, as we are going to throw it down to Tony with Scott Douglas.
Well, guys, Scott told me this morning he's a clean driver, and we were talking about how the guys were racing last night. Very rough, very defensive driving almost. He said, you know, tonight, if I'm in a position, I don't want to race that way, but I will if I have to.
Well, he's racing like a man possessed tonight. He has somehow managed to hold back that hard-charging Cheney, and now he has both Jenkins brothers on his tail, but Scott Douglas is just driving a fantastic race.
Well, he has to, because as we see more shrapnel coming off, these guys actually using the outside barrier as almost a berm to get the truck straightened up, so they're sacrificing side panels, bodywork. You know, it doesn't matter. A win means more than anything.
Oh, Mark Jenkins looking there at the inside a little bit, but again, couldn't quite set it up right to get the traction going down that whoop section. Now turn around the right-hander, the only right-hander on this course, and into that rhythm section.
And if you have a look, our top 3 drivers have never won on this circuit before, so all of these guys really want to put their name in the record books. And if you're Scott Douglas, you've won just about everything you can win in truck racing. You know he wants
a win in Charlotte. That's for sure. But Mark Jenkins isn't going to let him get away with that easily. They're going to come down 3 laps to go. Pieces of Mark Jenkins' truck just flying all over the place. And it's amazing that these two drivers, first and second, have managed to hold off the charge of Mike Jenkins and Johnny Greaves for a long time now. They are keeping the pace up, but I know Johnny Greaves wants this win again badly.
They all want the win. Look at the way these guys are driving. These are guys that are used to winning. They want to win, and we've seen how competitive this class is. One bobble, you can go from first to fourth. You know, in other words, go from being 0 to 0 like that, and we've seen that with Adrian Cheney. He was out there, now we don't even see him in the mix.
Pro four-wheel drive racing, the Husqvarna Showdown in Charlotte. This is TORC racing at its absolute finest. Scott Douglas trying to hold off that red truck of Mark Jenkins. They are working down with 2 laps to go in this race. Can Douglas hold that position?
I don't know, because Jenkins is right there and he's saying hello.
Wow.
That was almost a carbon copy of how he got in the inside of Johnny Greaves. Look at this, side by side. They're coming to the white flag. Last lap. This race is flown by. Look at this. Jenkins up high. He's basically running along the wall as Scott Douglas keeps it low. Protecting that inside line. Smart move. Veteran racer, knows what he is doing.
Mark Jenkins is going to make at least one last attempt here now. His brother Mike Jenkins coming into the picture, so maybe both Jenkins boys can catch up to Douglas. Look at that. Mike Jenkins right behind the red truck of Mark Jenkins, and Johnny Greaves behind both of them.
Hey, Johnny wants to get on that podium no matter what, as we're coming to the last turn.
Here we go. Scott Douglas goes. We'll take the checkered flag. Douglas wins in Charlotte.
Followed by Jenkins and Jenkins, so the brothers on the podium. Fantastic result this evening. Johnny Greaves just missing out on the podium.
Great racing there from Scott Douglas. Takes the win, and we will check in with him when we come back to TORC, the Off-Road Championship. Welcome back, everyone, to the Husqvarna Showdown in Charlotte, TORC, the Off-Road Championship. Our pro four-wheel drive is over, and his first win since Chicago 2012, Scott Douglas is down with our very own Christy Lee.
Scott, it's been a while since that last win. You got to feel good about this. That was door-to-door racing, what we all came to see. Tell us about your race.
Oh, that was awesome. That's why we race this AMSOIL Toyo Tire Borla exhaust truck. I mean, it's just because racing like that, every lap we had a battle on our hands. There was no gimme there. Adrian drove me awesome, but drove me hard. And I know Mark was right there too, but man, oh man, these Toyo tires hooked up great, and the Walker Evans wheels did great. We're not running any interliners. It's just fantastic. The Goodwin motor just held up great, and I just can't say enough. I'm just, woo! Yeah! Woo!
Well,
So,
I guess he's a little bit excited. A couple of years since he's had a win, but great driving from Scott Douglas tonight. Look at these results.
As you see, the brothers Mark and Mike Jenkins getting on the podium. Great for them, solid weekend, but Johnny Greaves not on the podium. You know he's not happy.
So Douglas takes the win. We'll have more from Charlotte when we come back.